Watcher, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ian, the Essential Handyman. Today I'm going to give you a little bit of advice about using damp meters. This is just my experience over a number of years using damp meters as a building surveyor. Most people, I suppose if you live in somewhere like Texas, this wouldn't matter to you and you probably wouldn't get too much damp unless it's sort of penetrating damp. Most people, they leave their survey equipment in the back of the car, and that's fine. But as anyone knows who try to record anything, film, take readings, anything that involves electrical equipment or batteries in cold weather, your equipment can be buggered up by leaving it in cold weather prior to using it. So in my experience, you go to the boot of your car when you're about to start a survey, you get your damp meter out and the readings are all skew with. They're not starting on zero. You have to warm it up. So let me show you the process I use. Okay, it's a cold day, it's about 4 degrees outside. I've just got a damp meter out of my car, brought it into the workshop to show you. Now, if I turn this on, you're going to see it should start at 0, which is underneath 6, but it's gone straight up to 9%. Now this can go up to about 11-12% depending on how cold or how humid it is. Now obviously if you're going to start your survey, you're going to be 9% out straight away, and that's a huge difference. If you're measuring timber, you're expecting rot to occur at about 25% WME. You could have a reading of 22% and you'd be okay, but on this it'll be showing you 29, so you're going to get the wrong reading. So this is obviously, it's critical that you pay attention and you start off with a 0% on your damp meter. So what I used to do when I'd get into someone's house and I hadn't worked out that the batteries were being affected by the cold is I'd take the damp meter and I'd stick it in my back pocket or in my front pocket while I'm going around setting myself up for the survey, doing whatever I have to do, getting other stuff out of the car, getting equipment ready, doing a cursory inspection inside outside of damp proof courses, rainwater goods, etc. But now, thankfully, you get a bit older, you get a bit wiser. What I do now is, if I've left it in my car overnight, and this is the advice that anyone using a damp meter needs to heed, there's nothing you can do about it, it's going to be wrong. So bring it into your car, put it on I tend to put it in my passenger footwell, and then while I'm driving to the job, I'll put the heating on, and I'll put the heating directed onto the floor. So that it warms it up, and by the time you get to your survey, you should be on 0%. However, if you can be a little bit more organised, and this is what I do now, I've been doing this for a few years, I'll just get myself a little bag. This is a boot bag, and in there I've got battery powered thermal hygrometers to tell the humidity and the temperature, other damp meters, distance measurers, etc. And I've also got a bag, another one for torches, because torch batteries can be affected by the cold as well. So what I do, I'll bring this bag in. Now this requires you to have a good memory, which I don't. So when I've got a damp survey, I'll leave it typically by the front door the day before. I'll leave this bag inside. And so long as you don't forget it, leaving it inside really does pay dividends, because your damp meters are already at room temperature. They're going to give you accurate readings straight away, and you're not going to have false readings because it's out by 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 12%. Another important thing to remember, batteries get affected by the cold, so don't store the spare batteries you may need if it runs out of batteries in the garage or in your car. Put those in your bag as well, and then have a selection of batteries ready for if it runs out of power. You can put fresh, warm batteries in, which won't affect the calibration of the meter. There you are. Top tip for the day for building surveyors or anyone using a damp meter: store it inside, take it with you, don't leave it in the car. If you do leave it in the car, try to warm it up on the way to the job with a heater. And if you fail to do that and the worst scenario hits and you got to the job and you're showing 11% as soon as you get there, stick it in the pocket. You're going to have to probably warm it up for a quarter of an hour or so. Wait till it gets to a 0 or it only shows 6 and under on those meters. Under 6, and then you should be a little bit better. You should get some more accurate reading. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you on my next video. See ya.